Hello people, and welcome to the Prospect Podcast Ep.2. Today, I think we're going to be talking about partying, which seems appropriate because we've just done our first episode of the podcast about 20 minutes ago, and we've been drinking beer. We're still going to be drinking beer throughout this one. We're a bit wibbly, and we've managed to find a new beer for the Beer of the Week section later, but we won't reveal the secret yet. You have to stay tuned to the end of the podcast to find out what the beer of the week is, even though we did our last beer of the week about 20 minutes ago. This episode is about our various experiences at parties, our encounters with the devil himself, alcohol. So, makes sense to start off this podcast with the first time we kind of had a party, which I suppose would be one of the famous Jacob evenings around his house, where I think the first night I properly drank, went round Jacob's, got, I think, 4 bottles of Kingston Press cider. This is back in the day, like, how old? I must have been only just 15,
yeah,
I think.
We were doing it for about a year before.
Yeah, I joined late because, as we explained in the last podcast, I didn't really start hanging around with the people till the band started. I think I actually joined the band before I started going around Jacobs. But anyway, yeah, I'd only just turned 15, so it was probably about 4 years ago around this time of year. Yeah, I had 4 bottles of Kingston Press. They were litre bottles, and they were about £1 each. So I spent £4, and I got quite wrecked on the first night. I just remember Kingston Press is just, it tastes hideous. Like, it's not.
It's better now.
It's better now, yeah. But it's also in smaller bottles.
Yeah.
Like, you get half the amount for £1 now.
It used to be £1.18
for like a big litre bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. Those were the days. And then all the taxes happened on alcohol, and it screwed us. And now we have to pay more. Or you do what I do for the last couple of parties, and spend £4.50 on a 3 litre bottle of Frosty Jack cider. Then you get a big bottle of Desperados. And then what you do is you drink it all, then top it up with some sour shots.
And then pour half of it in my whiskey.
Pour Desperados in some whiskey for Tom. So I don't get too drunk. I mean, I've had 3 litres of cider, half a big bottle of Desperados, and some sour shots. I don't want to get too extreme with my drinking. And then what you do is you walk home talking utter bullshit to people. I was walking with Peckett, Jacob and Nick, and I was just chatting utter shit, and I managed to throw up quite a lot that night. I remember the first time I ever threw up from alcohol, and I think most people who were at that party remember the first time I ever threw up from alcohol.
Yeah.
Basically, it was my first proper house party at mine. There was probably about 20 people invited or something, and like, I don't know, I felt all nervous about having to like get everything set up for the party and like make sure everyone enjoyed it. I think I'd bought a litre of vodka and then about 2 litre bottles of Coke or something. And because I felt like proper awkward at this party, like I was massively less confident then than I am now. And yeah, I basically sat in like my conservatory, which is right next to my back room, just downing glasses of vodka and Coke. It was about an hour and a half into the party, so I'd been drinking for an hour and a half. I'd managed to get through about 3/4 of this litre bottle of vodka in an hour and a half, and at this point in my life, I am not a heavy drinker at all. Like, the most I'd have at a party is maybe like 10 little WKDs or something. I was that kind of guy.
You'd give half of them away.
Yeah, I'd give half of them away as well, and I didn't really enjoy drinking that much at that point, but I got obliterated that night. I think I went to the shop, like my local shop, and I got someone to go and buy me a pumpkin, because this was in like the October half term, so it was nearly October. I got someone to buy me a pumpkin because I was just standing at the door like, look mate, I'm too drunk to go in there. They'll clock me for being really drunk. They won't let me buy the pumpkin because I was like all panicking and stuff. You're gonna have to go in for me. I'll give this guy my money. He brings me a pumpkin. I'm walking home with it. Put it in the kitchen, and then I end up like feeling proper ill. So I go upstairs and I lay on my bed for a bit. There was a couple of other people in my bedroom as well, and then I basically stand up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be sick. I walk into my toilet, and then just as I'm about to get to the toilet, I turn around to look behind me to see if anyone's coming to make sure I'm okay, because I was like feeling proper ill. And then as I turned around to look see if anyone was coming, I threw up then. So it went into my landing outside my toilet on the carpet, and then as I turned round to get into the toilet, it went all over the walls as well. And then I was just thrown up in the toilet. And then that was just the beginning. And then I went, oh no, I feel proper ill. Oh, there's sick all down me. So I thought, I'll put the shower on, and then I'm standing there washing my hair. I'm throwing up in the shower at the same time as doing this. And then, because I'm so drunk, I fall face first into my shower. It's like one of these bath shower combo things. So you've got like the bath, and then just like the normal shower kind of things around it. So I've basically like face palmed my bath and my shower's running at the same time. Meanwhile, there's like my friends Greg and Amy are just taking selfies in the mirror with me in the background. That's on Facebook still, I think, and it's annoying and really funny at the same time to see that picture. We should make the picture the thumbnail. We'll make the picture the thumbnail. But that's probably the worst night I've had on alcohol. Yeah, my dad and his girlfriend had gone out for the night to let me just have this party. And like my gran had to phone them on the house phone, like, Joe's really ill. Oh, he's been so ill. You need to come home now. You need to stop the party. And she was telling people to leave, so a few people left. And then I was just there in my bed, and like I think Jasmine came in, and I was just saying to her like, oh no, don't let people leave. Just carry on, enjoy the party or whatever. And I was just like, oh no, I've let everyone down. And then I just fell asleep and just woke up to be sick multiple times in the night. And the next day was horrific as well. But that is the worst night I've had in terms of being ill from alcohol.
Is that the night I was wearing pink skinny jeans?
Oh, I don't know actually. I think that was the night Amy had that kind of thing where she was massively ill, where you were wearing pink skinny jeans.
Maybe.
Like that was horrific, that was. For the last 2 years running, on my birthday, or kind of around my birthday, I've had quite a big house party at mine. We call them Upseshes, and there is a good reason for this. We had, in our psychology class in sixth form, we had a guy called Upsesh who was there, and I can't remember how it came about necessarily, but somehow there was some kind of pun on his name about him partying or something, and it was like, oh yeah, you're gonna go for an Upsesh kind of thing, which is quite funny. And it is Upsesh is an official thing on Urban Dictionary. And I just want to read out the description. Upsesh, a formal gathering with friends and classmates for the purpose of planned revision of academic topics, predominantly psychological studies. Alcoholic beverages, various foodstuffs, and music may be supplied to create a party revision environment. It is optional for useful revision to take place. Drunken dancing and singing is encouraged, as it will be memorable and help others recall the revision done more effectively in the exam. It is mandatory to invite lovely old lady known as Minton. Oh, I forgot about Minton. Minton was one of the supply teachers we had, and she used to go off in massive rambling stories that were just...
Like this one.
Yeah, like this one. They'd take up about half of the lesson, and just to put that into context, in sixth form our lessons were either 2 hours long or 3 hours long, and they would genuinely take up sometimes more than half of the lessons, just a story or something. But yeah, so I basically decided to adopt this phrase for use at my parties. So far we're only up to Upsesh round 2, but hopefully this summer, well, hopefully my dad isn't listening, but hopefully this summer we'll be doing Upsesh round 3, and there will probably be some kind of vlog about that as well. Yeah, that all came about because, like I said in the last video, there was our friend Chapel who did like the whole briefcase petition thing. I think he coined the term Upsesh, and he actually got it accepted on Urban Dictionary. I think I'm just going to read out... Wait, no. I don't know if I should. Actually, no, I should. Right, there's a couple of examples at the bottom of the Urban Dictionary thing, like there always is. Number 1, hey Upsesh, let's have an Upsesh. Number 2, I'm so passing this exam after that Upsesh last night, it was next level. Yeah, because why not? We'll link the Urban Dictionary link to Upsesh in the description, and you can see how legit that is for yourself. It's an actual thing, and it's brilliant. And if you want to have parties, let's start a trend. We will call all epic house parties from now on Upseshes. We want to make this a trend. Let's do this together. Hashtag Upsesh. But anyway, I think this has been another quite long discussion. It's time for our final segment, as is now going to become the tradition, hopefully. Beer of the week. And this week our beer is Corona Extra, which is a nice beer from the lovely land of Mexico. Oh my god, that was skills. I used a capo there. Right, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that was a lovely noise. Oh, this is much nicer than that. Carlsberg.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Corona!
You'll be the beer of the week.
Every week. Right, that wraps up this partying one nicely. A nice beer. So, thank you for listening. It's been, hopefully, a fairly entertaining episode with various stories or whatever. And yeah, if you like this video, that would be awesome. Again, if you want to go check out some of our other channels, they'll be linked in the description. Maybe if you want to tell us like a funny drinking story or something, or a party or anything like that. If you want to suggest topics for future podcast discussions, even if you want to give us some constructive criticism or something, feel free to leave a comment down below. Maybe even share this video if it's funny enough. I don't know if I'm taking a risk by saying that, but yeah, share the video if you want to. Links to our social media will be down below. You can go and like our official music kind of page on Facebook. We've got a Twitter as well. And yeah, thank you for listening to this podcast. This has been episode 2 about partying.
Cheers.
Cheers. And remember, drink lots, but responsibly.